welcome to section 2.8 of the Cisco CCT Data Center series. In this video, we're going to be going over Cisco UCS ESeries servers. All right, the topics that we're going to go over in this video include the Cisco UCS ESeries Fundamentals. Then we're going to go look at the data sheets and briefly look at the installation guides. Okay, ESeries Fundamentals. So these are modules that fit into the 4K ISR routers. They're not meant to be solutions that would be at a main data center. They're mainly for the use case of a branch. If for some reason you need to have some computing resources out at the branch and you didn't want to put in a larger, more expensive server, you already have an ISR 4K router. In that case, then it might make sense to put one of these modules in the router. That, and there are three form factors. One is going to be the SM, which is the service module. Then there's the NIM modules, and then there's the EHWIC modules. And we're going to go take a look at each of these on the data sheets right now. All right, so here we are back on the UCS architecture page. We're going to go in here to ESeries. Yeah, let's get view data sheets. Okay, so the M3 for the ESeries, M3 is going to be the most up to date. I'm not going to spend too much time on these because I just don't think they're a very relevant product. I do know that Cisco wants you to know this, know about these for the exam. I've been in very large environments, very large WAN environments that had a lot of branches with ISR 4K routers, and I have never seen a use case where it really makes sense. Okay, so real quick, looking at this picture, you can see this big space right here. It has a bunch of Ethernet in it, but that's what a service module is. So that's a service module part. That's actually the double wide. That's actually two service modules that go across. All right, so here is a table that I wanted to look at. All right, so here's the table I wanted to look at. This is going to tell you what service modules are compatible in what routers. So for the M3 ones, I think this is, yeah, so these are the two double models that are basically double wide. They only would go into the 4351, the 4451, and the 4461. And then the smaller modules, you would have to go 4331, 4351, and these ones. And that tells you how many you can fit into each. All right, again, so there's the single and double wide. Yeah, so the M2s, these are an older series, and these are even compatible with the older routers and the 4K. So the 29 and 3900 series ISR routers, those are last gen. Actually, they're pretty much end of life now too. Maybe this is what it is. Yeah, the NCEs. So NCEs, this is where we have, okay, yeah, NCEs, this is where we have all those smaller modules. All right, so this is a single service module size. Here's the NIM size, and here is the EHWIC size. All right, so after a little bit of searching, I have found the installation guide that's going to have everything in it for this. So make note of what we have here at the top, the Cisco UCS ESeries, and then it's got the NCE information as well. It's a pretty big page, but we got all right, so these are all the different service modules that this guide's going to cover. Whole bunch of information, scrolling. All right, so this is going to be the, and just like all the other stuff, this panel information, how to read what all these lights are. If you're going to be servicing one of these, obviously it's important. And I guess I would be surprised if they hammered you on the test over this series, since it's, to my knowledge, it's not all that common. But as you can see, we have the KVM here, and it shows you how to take them in and out, and gives you the Bible of procedures. And so anyway, this is the page that has all this stuff on it, and yeah, that's where it is. All right, so that concludes this lesson. The topics we covered were the Cisco UCS ESeries Fundamentals. We looked at the data sheets and the installation guides. If you found this helpful, give the video a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.